Good day, everyone. Here is the cover page of the Results-Based Performance Management System or RPMS portfolio for the school year 2021-2022. Let's go to Content Knowledge and Pedagogy or CRA number 1. Objective 1. Applied knowledge of content within and across curriculum areas. MOV needed. Classroom Observation Tool or COT rating sheet or Inter-Observer Agreement form from number 1. An observation of synchronous teaching or online teaching or two-way radio instruction. Number 2. If option 1 is not possible, an observation of a recorded video lesson or audio lesson that is SLM-based or MELT-aligned. Number 3. If options 1 and 2 are not possible, an observation of a demonstration teaching via live session. And now you can post here your evidences. Let's go to objective number 2. Use research-based knowledge and principles of teaching and learning to enhance professional practice. MOV. One lesson plan with annotations identifying the research-based knowledge and or principles of teaching and learning used as basis for planning or designing the lesson. You can post here your evidences. Let's go to objective number 3. Displayed proficient use of mother tongue, Filipino, and English to facilitate teaching and learning. And the MOV needed are Classroom Observation Tool or COT rating sheet or Inter-Observer Agreement form from the following. Just like the MOV needed in objective number 1. And now you can post here your evidences. Let's go to objective number 4. Used effective verbal and non-verbal classroom communication strategies to support learner understanding, participation, engagement, and achievement. And here are the MOV needed. Just like the MOV needed in objective number 1 and 3. Now, let's move on with the evidences. You can post here your available evidences. CRA number 2, Learning Environment. Objective number 5, used effective verbal and non-verbal classroom communication strategies to support learner understanding, participation, engagement, and achievement. MOV. Just like the MOV needed for objective number 1 and 3. And you can post here your evidences. Let's move on with objective number 6. Maintain learning environment that promote fairness, respect, and care to encourage learning. And here are the MOV needed. Let's move on with the evidences. If you already have your available evidences, you can post it here. Objective number 7. Maintain learning environment that promote fairness, respect, and care to encourage learning. MOV. Any supplementary material, even it is in print or digital format, made by the ratee and used in the lesson delivery that highlights maintaining learning environments that nurture and inspire learners to participate, cooperate, and collaborate and continue with learning. Just like the following: activity sheets, one lesson from a self-learning module, lesson plan, video lesson, audio lesson, other learning materials in print or in digital format, please specify and provide annotations. Now, you can post here your evidences. Objective number 8, applied a range of successful strategies that maintain learning environments that motivate learners to work productivity by assuming responsibility for their own learning. MOV, just like the MOV needed for objective number 7. And you can post here your evidences. CRA number 3, diversity of learners, curriculum and planning, assessment and reporting. Here is the objective number 9. Design, adopted, and implemented teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents. MOV needed. For Set A, classroom observation tool or rating sheet or inter-observer agreement form from the following. 1. An observation of synchronous teaching. It is online teaching or two-way radio instruction. 2. If option 1 is not possible, an observation of a recorded video lesson or audio lesson that is SLM-based or MELC-based or MELC-aligned. Number 3. If options 1 and 2 are not possible, an observation of a demonstration teaching via lab. For Set B, Teacher Reflection Form or TRF on designing, adopting, and or implementing teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents, and a certification from the school head that the rated classes have no identified learners with disabilities, giftedness, and or talents. You can post here your evidences. Let's move on with objective number 10. Adopted and used culturally appropriate teaching strategies to address the needs of learners from indigenous groups. MOV. Let's move on with Set B. Teacher Reflection Form or TRF on designing, adopting, and using culturally appropriate teaching strategies to address the needs of learners from indigenous groups, and a certification from the school head that the rated classes have no identified learners from indigenous groups. And you can post here your evidences. Objective number 11. Adopted and implemented learning programs that ensure relevance and responsiveness to the needs of all learners. MOV number 1, evaluation of an adapted or contextualized learning program after the initial implementation. Number 2, progress report on learners under the adapted contextualized learning program after implementation. 3. Accomplishment or completion technical report on the implementation of an adapted contextualized learning program. And number 4, action plan, activity proposal, activity matrix that shows an adapted contextualized learning program. And you can post here your evidences. Objective number 12. Utilize assessment data to inform the modification of teaching and learning practices and programs. And the MOV needed, a list of identified least and most mastered skills based on the frequency of errors or correct responses with any of the following supporting MOV. Number 1, accomplishment report for remedial enhancement activities, example remedial session, summer reading camp, field area-based reading program. For number 2, intervention material used for remediation, reinforcement, and enhancement. And for number 3, lesson plan, activity log for remediation, enhancement utilizing of assessment data to modify teaching and learning practices or programs. After that, you can post your evidences here. Let's move on with CRA number 4, or the community linkages and professional engagement and personal growth and professional development. Objective number 13, maintain learning environments that are responsive to community context. MOV number 1, accomplishment report of a program or project activity that maintains a learning environment. Number 2, program or project or activity plan on maintaining a learning environment. Number 3, minutes of a consultative meeting, community stakeholders meeting about the program or project activity that maintains a learning environment with proof of attendance. And number 4, communication letter about a program, project, activity that maintains a learning environment. And you can post now your evidences. Objective number 14, reviewed regularly personal teaching practice using existing laws and regulations that apply to the teaching profession and the responsibilities specified in the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. MOV needed. Number 1, annotated video or audio recording of one's teaching that shows impact of regularly reviewing one's teaching practices. Or number 2, annotated teaching material that shows impact of regularly reviewing one's teaching practices, just like lesson plan, activity sheet, assessment materials, and others. Please specify. Number 3, personal reflection notes as outputs from participation and review of personal teaching practices in 4 quarters. And number 4, proof of attendance with date in LAC or coaching and mentoring sessions for review of personal teaching practices. You can post here your evidences. Objective number 15, complied with and implemented school policies and procedures consistently to foster harmonious relationship with learners, parents, and other stakeholders. MOV number 1, proof of participation or involvement in a school community partnership for the implementation of a school policy procedure, example, the certificate as committee member or narrative report. And number 2, minutes of parent-teacher conference, stakeholders meeting about implemented school. And number 3, communication letter about an implemented school policy procedure sent to parent or guardian. And you can post here your evidences. Objective number 16, apply the personal philosophy of teaching that is learner-centered. MOV, 1 lesson plan with annotations explaining the application of a learner-centered teaching philosophy, example, constructivism or existentialism, used as basis for planning or designing the lesson. You can post here your evidences.